Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with another part of What If Naruto Was Separated from His Family. And before continuing this part, yeah, I know today was going to be a movie, but I have postponed it to tomorrow. And yeah, today is going to be a double upload, and next part will be What If Naruto A Mother's Love as well. So if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's continue our story. Time skip 1 week after the whole wave incident. Secret location. I trust you. Have something important to tell us, Mizukage Dono? Onaki said. Due to his back problem, he was really grumpy at the moment, so he did not want to travel for a long distance. But since the Mizukage have called him for a meeting, he and the Raikage had to attend that. Yes, it is something that concerns the hidden leaf and the yellow flash. Mei replied. Her response immediately got the attention of the both Kages, especially the one from Iwa. What of him? Onaki nervously said. You see, last week I tasked a squad of Anbu to track down missing Nin Hoshigaki Kisame to retrieve the Samehada, since I received intel that he was in the wave country. However, they returned to me empty-handed and reported what happened. Kisame fought out one of one against a boy, esteemed age in 11 to 13, in a Kenjutsu match. What surprised me is when my Ambu told me that the boy easily bested the swordman and was able to cut off his left arm, and also gave him lots of deep cuts. And during their intense battle, in the end, Kisame had to flee. During the battle, the boy identified himself as Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. My Anbu described him as a mini version of the Yellow Flash. What made him easy to recognize as not Minato was three whisker marks on each cheek. The boy also had companion. One was a Yuga girl that they easily identified because of her eyes. The other one was a raven-haired boy that I deduced as an Uchiha due to the description they had said. That's troubling, Oniki muttered. The Raikage, however, was silent for a few minutes before he spoke again. As I have already shared to you, last week our spies in Konoha delivered important news. The Hokage had assigned elite Jonis to be the censors of this year's graduating batch. These Jonis being Kakashi of the Sharingan, Guy Konoha's Green Beast, and Asuma, who is the member of 12 Guardians Ninja, or was. Sarutobi asked them to train the rookies hard for the Chunin exams that are coming up. The Hokage plans to take advantage of their event for Konoha to gain more contractors. Asuma noted that the Hokage skipped teammate, especially, to which he replied that he already had people in mind to put there. He said that Team 8 will be specifically made for the Chunin exams, with them being composed of Rutanbu. The sensei, however, has no idea that her team will be composed of already experienced ninjas. The Jonin sensei assigned for the teammate will be a woman with the name of Yuhi Kurenai, who will be promoted to a Tokubetsu Jonin to Jonin. The Kages were once again silent. Onaki was thinking hard while Mei simply waited for them to speak, as she already knew about it. This news about Minato's son and the two people with him. Onagi started. These are the children we tried to kidnap. After the failed kidnapping, the Hokage relentlessly sent us blackmails and demanded Iwa and Kumo to return the children, but it seems that they were never kidnapped by another village. I think I can see where you're going, Tsuchikage Dono. And about Konoha team assignment, what if these Anbus, root Anbus Sarutobi was talking about, especially what are they like? And who are these three? He asked. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, I also have this implication that the Konoha raid was staged. Staged? So that Konoha will have the reason to start an international incident against Kumo and Iwa? Mei asked. Still fine, ignorance. This was the plan. Make the two Kages see more reason to attack Konoha, just like they did when the Alliance tried to destroy Uzushio Gakure. Konoha, Kumo, Iwa, and Kiri will be destroyed in one fall, and fell asleep by Uzu when their enemies and armies clash. Yes, A and Oniki replied at the same time. If we think about it now, there were no casualties during those consecutive raids by unknown attackers. The supporter and supposed targets were mainly the Yuga, Namikaze, and the Uchiha. The raids were a way of provoking you to attempt a kidnapping, since everyone would naturally think that Konoha was vulnerable at the time. The kidnapping had made it look like that those three children vanished, but the truth is they simply added them to their root program, training them in secret. Now that the exams are coming, Konoha will finally let them out in the open once again, Mei said. Both Tsuchikage and Raikage strongly agreed. With this statement, their bodyguards also agreed but kept silence since their job was to protect their Kage and not to join them with the meeting. Meanwhile, Rikodo was concentrating as he was relaying the live meeting to Uzu whole council so that they could hear what about was going on there. What are you suggesting we do about this? Mei asked. I strongly suggest that we expose them. Not openly, but by adding the Namikaze boy to the bingo books. If he was able to defeat Hoshikage Kisame alone and make him flee, then he clearly is an S rank nin. Probably double S rank like his father. I agree. With that decision, the boy is strong. I give him that. At least we could warn the world about this new threat. If he is already as strong as he is now, he could very well be a double S rank class when he reaches his top peak. We could only hope that the boy doesn't know the Yondam's technique. Oh, just you wait, old geezers. My nephew's going to destroy your armies using the Harishin. Mei thought. Meanwhile, in Uzu, Kushina and Minato could not help but feel proud of their son. Oniki regarded Naruto with fear. While A clearly had respect for the boy, the other council members were laughing at Oniki as he imagined Naruto knowing how to do the Harishin. The Tsuchikage could be very well pissing in his pants right now. Alright, so we're going to put him in the bingo book. What about the other two? Mei asked. They're not that much of a threat for now. This Naruto, however, we already know his genjutsu is an level. His other abilities are still a mystery. I'll be sending you the information we have about the boy right after this meeting, especially my fastest messenger bird tomorrow. Oniki said, Same. I'll also share what we have about him. A said, Very well. The sooner we update the bingo book, the better. I'll wait for your mail. Until then, we prepare for the tuning exams, May said as she stood up from her seat, and the two Kages followed, and standing up as well, they shook their hands and then parted ways. Konohagakure, Hokage's office, Sensei. Shira called as he entered the office through the window. Shirakun, news? Yes, Gado is dead. Gado? As in the guy among the top rich persons in the elemental nations? Yes, apparently he was killed last week. I did my investigation. When I heard it, because I did not believe at first. My spies in the underworld organization have confirmed it. His riches apparently weren't actually his and were stolen. Now that he's dead, his banks have been mysteriously emptied. There were also no reasons or response from his known bases. How could this happen? He's supposed to be rich and probably has a lot of strong mercenaries around him. That's what baffles me, Sensei. I'm still investigating it. I'm going to track his lost whereabouts and report back to you as soon as possible. His killers must have been very powerful for them to be able to kill him. These mystery people could be a problem for us in the future, Chira said as he left the office once again. The end of the and cut. Perfect. Wonderful. Great acting as usual, Yuki-chan, the director said. The girl, who was about the same age as Naruto, sighed in relief as they finally finished taping of the scene. Fujikaze Yuki was filming her very first movie, Princess Fun. They were about to finish the movie and had less than 10 scenes left. Her manager, Asama Sandayu, helped her to a seat and gave her a bottle of cold water. Well done, Kyoki-sama. If there's anything else you need, just let me know, Sandayu said while he wiped the girl's sweat. Sandayu-san, you're calling me by that name again. If someone hears us, we'll be in trouble, the girl whispered. Forgive me, Yuki-chan. I just got excited and carried away. I'm sure your father will be proud of you now that you've become an actress and fulfills your dream. As he said that, the girl's face immediately fell saddened, clearly on his face. Father, his death will be avenged. I promise you that. For now, we lay low and earn money with your acting. Soon we'll be able to hire an army to help us overthrow your uncle and reclaim the land of snow. Right, the girl said with new determination. This is why I'm doing my best in acting. Yes. Sandayu smiled and patted the princess's head. Kyoki and Sandayo have been on the run for more than 5 years. They finally settled a year ago once they were sure they have lost their pursuers and trackers. Sandayo had the princess change her name for her own safety. They were given protections by a veteran shinobi who happened to recognize them as he was once a traveler before he started in the movie industry. The person reassured them that he will keep their secrets and protect their identity. Goku was once a Konoha shinobi who defected after the attack of Yuzu. He was good friends with the Yondam and the Red Death and fought alongside them during the Second Great Shinobi War. He defected because he found out Konoha's treason against the Uzumakis. His heart could not take it when he heard that Yondam supposedly committed suicide due to depression. He did not know about Naruto being alive, so he left, but would have stayed and protected him if he did. Right now, he was glad that Konoha never pursued him for his defection. Mainly problem because there were also others who defected aside from him and Orochimaru. He lived his days now as a director of his own movie production. Kyoki smiled and looked at Sandeyu. Have you seen my book? I've been like to read The Purple Princess again. I can see why you love this book so much. Sandeyu said as he took out a book from his bag and handed it to Kyoki. It inspires me. It's really good. Just then, the booming voice of the director started the two. Did I just hear you say the Purple Princess? Yes, Goku-san, nervously replied the young actress, afraid that the director might not like her reading the book, aside from the one they were filming. Suddenly, the director had heart in his eyes as he took the book from the girl and hugged it. Oh, such masterpiece this is. I really love to meet the author of this book. If we could convince him and grant us permission to turn his book into a movie, it will be really great. Since the protagonist is a girl and is the same age as Yuki-chan, you will be the main star, of course. This is just perfect. With this book rising to the list of the top sellers, we will great make profit if we could turn it into a movie, Goku said as he handed the book back and waltzed away while muttering plans for him to find the author. Perhaps some shinobi skills applications might need work. Time skip. 1 week. Konohagakure, Hokage's office. Sarutobi was puffing his smoke in his pipe while he signed some papers. He was startled when his window of office suddenly slammed open. He looked up and saw the student Jiraiya with a solemn look. What is it? The Hokage did not even bother greeting him and proceeded with business, seeing that white-haired pervert's expression. Here, look. Jiraiya took out a copy of the latest bingo book and opened a certain page. Placing it down on the desk as Hokage read, Sarutobi dropped his smoking pipe as he saw the picture of a familiar blonde kid. On the top of the page was a picture of Naruto taken his battle against Kisame. He narrowed his eyes as he read the contents of the page. Name: Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto. Title: The Juggernaut. 12. Age: height: 5. Weight: unknown. Affiliation: unknown. Genjutsu Mastery unknown. Ninjutsu Mastery unknown. Kenjutsu Mastery S rank. Primarily 6 sword. Secondary bow staff. Taijutsu Mastery S rank uses the super strength techniques, the same as Tsunade of the Sanin. Elemental affinity unknown. Bloodline limit. Uzumaki's quick regeneration, long life, and vast amount of chakra. Unique abilities: can use origamis for offensive attacks and variation perfection in Poinjutsu. Description: can be easily recognized as there are 3 whisker marks on each side of his cheek. His long blonde hair is tied by a ponytail, while his 2 bangs were supported by an unmarked forehead protector. Almost looks like the Yondam Hokage except for the whisker marks. His parents are Konoha's Yellow Flash and Yondam Hokage Minato Namikaze and the Red Death Uzumaki Namikaze Kushina. His whisker marks are caused by being the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. Became an orphan and the Jinchuriki the day he was born. Like mostly Jinchuriki, he lived in isolation and was ostracized by everyone in Konoha before he vanished at the age of 5. He was allegedly kidnapped by Ivanes, but this was never proven. He appeared after 7 years in hiding. He had shown great proficiency in Kenjutsu battle during the battle against Monster of the Mist, who have gone rogue. Uses an unknown style of Kenjutsu with 6 swords. Defeated Koshigage Kisame on one-on-one match by giving him multiple deep sword cuts while also managing to cut off the Nukenin's left arm while he remained unscratched. He was left and last seen in the water country, chasing after the fleeing said Nukenin, traveling with a female Yuga and a male Uchiha around his age, whose names and identities are unknown. Level: S rank. Bounty: 6 million Ryu. Note: flee on sight. If tuning level or lower, he is still unknown, so there is a chance that he knows the Harishin. If you see him wielding a 3-pronged kunai, you run for your life and pray to Kami he doesn't catch you. If you happen to encounter him and survive, report it to your Kage immediately. Iwagakure is offering an extra 30 million Ryu for his head. The Hokage was silent for a long time as he reread the page multiple times. How? Sarutobi croaked. His throat became dry due to what he read. Jiraiya could merely shrug as he too was lost of words. Uzukage's office. The Uzukage and her family and the other clan heads were also reading the latest edition of the bingo book and were now discussing about Naruto. He's already in S class, huh? Remarked by the Kaguya clan head. That's no surprise. His performance in the academy already proof of him being a promising ninja even at a very young age, said Yuga Hitomi. The others nodded in agreement as they continued to talk about the blonde. Kushina, however, could not help but feel worried about her son. Naruto was now in the bingo book and had a large bounty. Minato, seeing his wife's worried look, massaged her shoulders and gave her a reassuring squeeze. I'm sure Naruto-kun knows what he's doing. Besides, this is what he wanted. People always looked at him as the son of the Uzukage or the Yellow Flash. He wanted to step from our shadow and be recognized as himself. Uzumaki no Mikaze Naruto. I believe this is a good thing for him. People will recognize him as soon as they will see him as someone strong, not because he is our son, but because he is very dedicated to his shinobi training to protect the ones he cares about. Don't worry, we will still protect him with our lives, even if he's already reached this level, Arashi said. We're not letting him get harmed, especially by Konoha, Tsunade said. Anyways, Uchiha is starting to resurface once we made ourselves known. Once again, Naruto-kun will be given immediately an immunity due to him being the son of the Kage. Should someone try to assassinate or kidnap him, it will be an act of war. They will be damned, Kaede said. Hearing this, Kushina nodded and allowed herself to relax. It has been 2 weeks now since her son and her classmates left for Wade. So far, nobody has tried to attack the village after their battle against Gato and his mercenary army. On one location, secret cave, a black and white creature could be seen eating a corpse of a what looked like a hunter nin. As the creature finished its meal, it began to talk as it took out a bingo pick from the vest of the victim. It seems that the kid you fought has already found his way to the bingo book. The kid got lucky. I was just taken by surprise, that's all, Kisame said. Huh, taken by surprise. And by a kid. What a fucking noob. And you're supposed to be the monster of the mist. What a fucking pussy. A dark-haired teenager with a three-bladed scythe said. Shut it, you tranny, or I'll feed you to my Samehada. Just try it, fish cake. I'm going to enjoy offering you to Jashin-sama. That's enough. You too. Kisame, how's your arm? A masked man said. It's good now, Madara-sama. I will be murdering people again in no time. That's good to hear. I want you to get back on track, taking missions. The organization still needs funding. Understood, Madara-sama. For now, I will be switching the pairs. Hidan and Kakuzu will be working together while Kisame and Sasori will be the new partners. The masked man then turned to the creature, Zatsu. I need you to scout around the elemental nations to look for more possible recruits, while the other do mercenary missions. We need 4 more members, the masked man said before he vanished in a black vortex. Understood. Both replied, meaning black and white Zetsu replied, and they sunk into the earth. Nami no Kuni, it has been 2 weeks since their battle against the missing nins. Naruto and his classmates were currently resting in their cottage after a whole day of helping the villagers' construction. Naruto was currently having a friendly conversation with Kurama, but were interrupted in his thoughts when he heard a knock on the door. Who is it? There was no reply, but instead a book was slid in through the bottom of the door. Naruto walked closer and recognized it as a bingo book. His classmate who were chatting with each other noticed that Hooded huddled with Naruto. What is it, Naruto-senpai? Dosu asked. His other classmates also regarded him now as their higher-up due to his intelligence, strength, power, and authority. The latest edition of the bingo book, Naruto replied as he walked towards the living room and sat on the sofa. All his classmates following him curiously to see its new contents as well. Naruto opened the book and scanned to the latest page and found his picture on it. He smiled as he read the contents about the book. 60 million ryu, huh? And an additional 30 million ryu from Eva. Well done, Naruto-kun, Kurama said amusedly. Oh well. Were mentioned as well, Sasuke pointed out, but they don't know our names, Hinata said. No problem. We'll introduce ourselves next time, the raven-haired boy replied, earning snickers from his classmates. Time skip, 1 week. Konoha Gakure. A week has passed since the latest edition of Bingo Book Konoha was in Konoha. Konoha right now is in an uproar due to the description about the boy, known as the Kyubi Brat, said. Those who had been close to the Yondam family, especially Kakashi, were not sure what to feel at the moment. There were a few who did not believe the Bingo Book's contents, but most people, and especially Shinobi, have finally seen the resemblance between Naruto and Minato. Some were feeling sick in their stomach due to the treatment they have given the boy, while the others were angry at the higher-ups for keeping it a secret. Now they have no idea where the boy was. Kage's office. Kakashi, Asuma, guys, and other elite Jonins were in the room. Kakashi was being held by Guy to keep his rival from pounding the Hokage. Hokage-sama. Kakashi breathed hard. With all due respect, we need an explanation for this. How come you never told us? How come you never told us this? Stand down, Jonin, Sartobi growled, emphasizing at the man's rank. I did what's best. I had to keep it a secret so that our village or other villages won't try anything, especially Eva. And now it worked so well, huh? If you had known he was your sensei's son, would you have treated him differently? Saratobi remarked. If you really was the student of your sensei, how come you never realized he wasn't the demon brat but instead your sensei's legacy? The man said to the one-eyed Jonin, causing him to shut up. Asuma was disappointed at the father, while Guy kept mumbling, unyouthful. Excuse me, Hokage-sama. Kakashi bowed as he left the office, the other Jonin following. Saratobi motioned for the hidden armor to show up. Four masked figures appeared, kneeling in front of Hokage. I want Fugaku, Chiraya, and Tanzo in the room in 5 minutes. There will be no need to call for me. A voice said as the door opened, revealing the old warhawk. Go, ordered the Hokage. The Anbu left silently, leaving the two veterans alone. No less than 5 minutes, Chiraya and Fugaku were in the room alone. Now, Fugaku, I want to know what kind of genjutsu you used on the demon brat. Now that it has been removed and people now see him as the Yondam son, the Uchiha clan had begun explaining the name and the effects of the genjutsu used. After talking, Saratobi simply nodded in understanding. Oh well, it has been 12 years. It's bound to expire. Anyways, we need to talk about your daughter, he said, now turning to Jiraiya. I want Sasame to be apprenticed by Jiraiya up to the coming Chunin exams. I want her to have the Totsummon contract as well. Sure, no problem, Hokage-sama. It has been ages since the last time they had been summers. And besides, I'm old. They'll need a new young summoner soon, Jiraiya said. Fugaku-san, if you're okay with it, then I could start training her tomorrow. That will be a great honor. I will speak to my daughter about this later. Thank you, Fugaku said. Danzo, my friend, Saratobi called. I would like your route to go look for Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata. It's time they returned and served Konoha. Feel free to do whatever you want as long as they become a part of Root. That seems a great idea. Very well. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave, Danzo said. Jiraiya and Fugaku nodded and left the room as well. Time skip 4 months. Nami no Kuni, Fourth City. At its goodbye now. It has been almost 5 months since the graduating batch arrived. The bridge connected to Wave and Water Country port was now finally finished. With the help of Naruto's Mokitan, the building process only took 5 months instead of 2 years. The building in the fourth city looked luxurious thanks to the great architect and engineering designs and planning. With Uzushio Gakure's advanced research, buildings are much stronger and look grander. Everywhere you look, you can see mansions and high-raised buildings. Back in Uzu, the first battle tanks, airships, and warships have been produced and were brought to the fourth city for testing. Fourth city will be opening and will be made now to the world known as under the flag of Uzushio Gakure. In other words, the higher-ups have intentions of luring other villages to try and attack it so that they could see how effective the machines works. The people of the fourth city, of course, knew this and were actually ecstatic about the idea of the village attacking a newly reconstructed village and its defenses. Since everyone in the fourth city are civilians and have no shinobi training, these advanced machinery could help them greatly. There were also new models of projectiles launchers that were given to them for arms. There were two new inventions. One was a launcher that could launch 100 kunai, sandbones, or star per 30 seconds. The other one was another launcher that could launch strong jutsu sealed into tiny scrolls. The launcher increased the power of the jutsus tenfold, making it very deadly for the enemy. Of course, there were still seals placed all over the village in case the people needed help. Thanks to the great wonders of the Funjutsu, the Uzumaki clan had invented huge rooms filled with seals that allow living and non-living objects to be transported to another area where a similar room is located. The room is secure since it's only recognizes villager and shinobi from Uzu. These rooms could be used for immediate evacuation, delivering production, or a way to bringing in reinforcements in case of emergency. The graduating batch, together with their senses, are celebrating with their villagers. Everyone was now constructed ballroom there. enjoying. Tarzana was currently at the stage and was in the middle of the speech. As the temporary leader of the fourth city, I would like to thank everyone who had graciously helped rebuilding this village into prosperity. In behalf of the people here, we would like to thank Uzumaki Namekaze Naruto and his classmates for liberating us under the tyrannical rule of Kato. Had they not come, we would still have been in poverty, and more of our women would have been sold as sex slaves. We also thank their sensei for teaching them everything they knew and making them the fine shinobi they are now. Tonight starts a new beginning of the people of this village. The old man nodded and took out a glass of champagne, a toast for the graduating batch and their successful mission, a toast to the start of a new village, a toast to a fourth city, and finally, toast for you guys to be promoted. Yeah, everyone replied as they raised their glasses to drink. The people spent the night celebrating along with those who were soon to be promoted. On the following morning, everyone was once again gathered to see Naruto and his classmates off. Once again, the people of the fourth city thanked them for their great help and extended it to the Uzukage back in Uzushio. Naruto and his classmates, along with their senses, bid their goodbye before taking off to Uzushio. Time skip 2 days. Uzushio Kakure's gate. The class finally arrived back to their homeland after 5 months of being away. Unknown to them, their senses have informed Uzu about their return. As Naruto and his batchmates approached the gates, they were surprised to see a huge crowd gathered. The students recognized their families among the crowd. What caught Naruto and his friends' eyes was a huge group consisting of girls, all of them clutching a book and pen. Those in front had a banner saying, "Welcome back, Naruto Senpai," while some were screaming, "Please give me your autograph." Naruto classmates walked forward to greet their families while he remained confused, staring at the group of girls. "Krama-chan, what's going on? Idiot! They're welcoming you back, of course." Naruto simply sighed but smiled at the crowd, making the girls squeal in delight. "Naruto Senpai, please sign my book. Please! Naruto Senpai, you are so awesome. Are you going to write a sequel? Please sign my book." What do you think Naruto heard? He smiled and began signing the books and answered their questions, telling them that he was currently working on the second book, making the fangirls scream in excitement. After the greeting, the batch headed towards the Uzukage's office to report their success. Uzukage's office. And then we bid goodbye and headed back here. After the report, Naruto said as he finished his report. The Uzukage nodded and then gave Minato a knowing smile. He nodded and opened the door, allowing 9 Jonins inside, carrying 3 Chunin West each. Your sensors have already sent their evaluation about your performance 3 days before your arrival. The council has already reviewed this and they were impressed with your reports. As the Uzukage, I am very happy to inform you that all of you have been passed the graduation exams and are promoted to Chunin. Everyone clapped their hands as the Uzukage handed them their Chunin vests. After everyone wore their new vest, the Uzukage spoke once again. "Now that you are Chunin, you know what you have to do. You now carry your responsibilities, more responsibilities as a shinobi of your village. Carry your rank with pride and become an inspiration to those who are still in the academy and wish to become a shinobi one day too. Since you were away for 5 months, I've given you 1 week vacation to catch up with your families and friends. After that, you are to report to me for duty to receive your first missions as Chunis. Dismissed." They all bowed and left the room. Naruto, however, remained inside the office. "Yes, Naruto-kun?" asked Uzukage. The boy simply smiled and tackled his mother into the hug. Minato laughed as he ruffled their son's hair. "I missed you, Ka-chan. To-chan. We miss you too, Naruto-kun. Congratulations on your promotion." "Thanks." Naruto grinned. "Oh, by the way, congratulations as well for your book, The Verbal Princess. I've already released its second edition now, with your name and real name on it. It has been added to this year's list of top sellers." Minato said, "Hehe, so that explains how they knew." Kushina simply smiled as she knew what Naruto was talking about. "Your fan club has gotten even bigger, Naruto-kun. You now both have fangirls and fanboys due to your books, and you being on the bingo book. Just don't forget your family, okay?" Kushina teased. "Ka-chan!" Out of nowhere, Nare and Naruto's siblings appeared and joined the group hug, congratulating Naruto for his promotion and his book success. Later that night, the family had a celebration and had dinner outside. 1 week later, Uzukage's office. "You three are going to Mount Katsuragi to look for a person. That is where he was last sighted," the Uzukage said as she handed Naruto, Gara, and Fu the folder. "Utakate?" Naruto asked as he read the folder's contents. There was a picture of the teenage boy with hair that covered the left side of his face. The detail said that he was a missing name for Kiri. Somehow, he looks a bit like Sasuke. Fu commented. Kara simply remained silent. Now I'm sure you're wondering why I choose you three for this mission, and why not with your respective teams. Can you guess why? Kushina asked. The three were silent for a moment as they thought for an answer. Disguised as Jinchuriki, they all replied in unison. The Uzukage smiled and nodded. Once again, correct. Now I want you to find him and convince him to join Uzu. The Mizukage personally requested for this mission. She gave us the details. Why he's gone rogue. Kara and Fu, you are to meet with Naruto at Mount Katsurugi. You leave this village in 2 days. Here's the map. I'm giving you up to the maximum of 1 week to complete it. You two are dismissed. The Uzukage waited for the two Jinchurikis to leave the office and then paid attention to her son. Naruto, I'm giving you an S-class secret mission. You are to leave the village in an hour and we'll go to Mount Katsuragi. Look for an old man named Tonbei and a girl named Hotaru. These two are the remaining members of the Tsuchigomo clan that lived in the mountains, while the rest will remain in their hidden village. The Tsuchikomo clan are hailed and feared during the Third Great Ninja War due to their kenjutsu. They called the technique Fury Tohatsu Tan could create a massive explosion and capable of wiping out an entire village. The clan was and still is a secret alliance with Konoha, the Sandaime, and the Tsuchigomo clan chief that time made a secret alliance with the sole purpose of protecting the Kinjutsu. However, I and everyone in the council strongly believed that the Sandaime only agreed to the alliance so that he could use the Kinjutsu to his own selfish purposes. Your job is to bring Otaru and Tonebe you to to Tsuchigomo village and convince the clan to cancel their alliance with the Leaf. You will be representative of Ushigakure. War is brewing. We cannot let Kenjutsu fall into the wrong hands. Understood? Kushina stood before her desk and hugs her son. Be careful, Naruto-kun. I will, Mom. Naruto then kissed her mother's cheek before leaving the room to prepare for his mission. As this is where I'm going to be leaving off this part, guys. Sorry about the stuttering and all because I'm tired. I just got through my exam 2 to 3 hours ago, and yeah, and I'm recording a double video. So please, please forgive me and allow it. Anyways, this is Apollo Chiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.